Weight Loss Surgery Works, and I am your Sunday blogger, Rosemary, with 3 special guests. We have Sally, Cabernet Queen from England. We have Tony, Skinny Britches to be from California. And we have a Houston, Texas person here. Channel name?
VSG Berlin 2011.
And Lynn, grocery store shopping. Do you have a menu library that you use to make weekly plans? Do you make a shopping list? What staples do you purchase regularly at the store? Do you read nutritional labels when you shop? Did it take you a long time to relearn how to shop for the right foods post weight loss surgery?
Oh, it's on me. Okay.
You're up, girl.
Okay. Do I have a menu library? No. I like to make new things all the time. Let's just say I have 2 children, so what I cook for them is different than what I might eat. Do I make a grocery list? Of course. I have to have a list, otherwise I will forget everything. Mm-hmm. What was some of the other questions? Oh.
Do you read labels?
Yes, I read everything. I read ingredients. I like to know what's in the food that I'm buying. I don't buy things that don't have things I can pronounce. Or at least I try not to. Sometimes you can't get away from it. You need certain things. Did it take me a long time to relearn how to shop for the right foods? Of course. Yes, I was used to buying macaroni and cheese and hot dogs and roast food before. Now I have to read everything. It takes a lot longer.
You can do quinoa. You can do a quinoa macaroni, girlfriend.
You have to learn.
I also I make a list, but you know what? My staples are basically the same things. I think we did a Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works where I showed you exactly what was in my freezer and in my refrigerator and stuff like that. And but it's always the same. You know, I get the shrimp, I get the fish. My husband's a steak eater. I'm not so much a steak eater, but the chicken. And it's basically the same things. And when we travel, right now gas is so expensive, I make plans to go to Trader Joe's, Winco, which I don't know if you guys have a Winco, but it's a grocery store, which is the cheapest grocery store that I can find in Fresno. And that's how I do it. And so it's basically the same things for me. And plus, you know, when you live with a family or when you live with someone that is not weight loss surgery friendly, you have to kind of plan for their food too. So that's how I do it. And I use when my phone works, because right now my phone's not wanting to work right, but I have a plan. And I heard that Tony and Sally have the same thing, right? You guys use your phone, your notes.
I write notes on my phone all the time now. It's the best thing ever. I think that's better than anything the phone does for me, to be able to type in the list so I can remember what I'm looking for. So.
We have thrown the pencil and the paper away. we've come into the 20th century. Oh, by the way, we're wearing hats that Connie made. Quilting Connie.
Hi, Connie.
And Tony, what were you saying earlier? About what you and your husband do?
Yeah,
Don't y'all look cute.
You make pretty hats.
Thank you.
My husband does a lot of the shopping, and what we've established a little system on his phone on the notes. We've just listed all the name brands, types of foods that are my staples, my basics. And before he goes to the store, he'll just pull his phone out and he'll put a check mark next to the things that I need. And he knows now exactly what my basics are, which is kind of a nice little handy tool for the 2 of us.
As far as the labels, Alfred, since you're just walking over here, come on over here. You made a really good point this time that I came, because I try and get here every year. But and I learn something new every year with Alfred. But you made a really good point how we have to make it like a pie and really look at everything when we read labels, not just look. Because for me, since I come from an Atkins background, I would only look at the carbs and what else? The carbs and the proteins. And then Alfred said, "You're not paying attention to the fats. Look at the fats." So what could you tell us on how to make it a whole, on the sodium, the fat, everything?
Right. Well, you know, I noticed the new Atkins product, which is not new, but it's been out. It seems like they changed their product, and now it's more protein, less fat, and less carb. I mean, so protein is the key, like we discussed. I'm glad, I wasn't the only one who thought that. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, the sodium, the sodium and the cholesterol would be the other two things that you'd look for besides the fat, and that would be, because that's why I recommend the isolate protein, because it's protein without all the other stuff added into it. So that's the best, purest nutrition that you could get without sodium, carbs, or fat.
Yeah.
And then you're going to need these other things in your diet, but you keep them at a minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Depending on what you're doing. If you're trying to lose weight, you definitely don't want you want to keep that at a minimum. And if you're trying to maintain, then you're going to need a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But make sure the ratio is just like I said. 1/3, 1/3.
1/3, 1/3. So that's a good tip. If you don't learn anything today, learn that one.
If you don't want to stay where you are, you reach a point where you're content with where you are, but you want to keep your energy level up and for good health, 1/3.
Okay. Thank you. What staples do you purchase regularly at the store? Well, I know Alfred regularly, his vitamins, his coffee, and his protein. For me,
not necessarily in that order.
For me, I make sure I get my waters, I get my protein. I don't do so much steak, like I said, but I do make sure that I like shrimp. I think that's the highest, I'm
a shrimp eater too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I want to get the highest protein buck
for calories.
For calories, yeah. So, like, I love sardines. I mean, I can do a can of sardines without anything, just that and lemon. Without when I say nothing, like I'm not going to put like anything else but just lemon. It's really good, girl. High protein, baby, high protein. What is some of your staples? I know I can name hers.
Yeah, we all know.
I can name hers.
Lentils and wine. No, I'm just kidding. I absolutely have to have a case of dried legumes in my house in England in the cupboard, because I packed them when the movers came. I was afraid I wouldn't have as much access to dried beans and legumes because I don't eat a lot of meat. So I absolutely have to have some kind of bean. Mostly it's lentils or a chickpea or something along those lines. I absolutely always have to have Greek yogurt. And in England, the yogurts are different. I've actually make my own now from a manufacturer that sells you this shaker thing and this powder, and it's live bioculture stuff. It's really good for your guts. And basically, I make one once a week. It ends up costing about the same as buying a big Faya over here, which you can't really get easily over there. And so
is it like a Fija?
It is. It's not as thick.
Okay.
But it is so creamy. And
Did
it's still
0%
fat.
Did you bring any? Just saying.
Well, you have to have the little thing to shake it up. But anyway, you shake it up, sits on the counter 8 hours, it thickens, and you put it in the fridge, and then I know, it's great. So I do that. I have to have when I go shopping, I can tell you what we get every week, and it's pretty simple because it's just the two of us now. I eat lentils for breakfast generally, or maybe a protein bar when I'm headed out. So I have to have those, and I order my protein bars from the United States because you can't get them over there.
They're going to ask what protein bars you...
I eat Pure Protein, the peanut butter chocolate one. Isn't that what it's called, Pure Protein? It's
I think so.
20 grams of protein and 200 calories. I just really like it, and it satisfies immensely as a meal, and I'm good to go when I'm walking. But the other thing, I go to the store before we go to the little stores close by, and I get fresh produce. That is the number one thing on my list. I am never
totally forgot about that.
Much. I have so many fresh vegetables and fruit in the houses is that I see as a good value that week and what's fairly seasonal or what's on sale. Because I'll do smoothies for breakfast for Steve, and it takes bananas, apples, and fresh kale. I always have fresh kale or fresh spinach in my house, stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I eat, guys. You should know. And soup.
Is that basically what all of us are basically? Yeah. Because I have to have my yogurt. I have to have my vegetables, and when I get back to California, I'm going to be using that bullet that I received as a gift. I'm going to be doing my juicing.
Love the machine.
Connie wish I would have brought it, but I didn't. But anyway, I plan to do that as far as one of my meals. So I'm not going to do total, juicing. But anyway, we love you.
Alfred wants to say something.
Oh.
I got one more thing I want to
Oh, go ahead.
Now, Sally and I were discussing about, I mentioned to her about amino acids. That's what protein is, okay? Protein consists of amino acids. So, you know, the FDA or whoever has recommended that you need, there are 9 essential and 9 non-essential, basically about 20 aminos that you really need. So some that your body cannot manufacture, that's why you have to eat nutrition. You have to get it from another source because these make the enzymes. So if you're getting the non-essentials and you're not getting the essentials, then that's going to be a problem from right down the road.
So you need the amino acids.
And one thing, when you're looking at a product, you want to make sure that the amount, the milligrams of each one of these acids is relatively high, because you want a good chemical mix there. If it's low, then you won't get the same quality of product that the enzyme, and you won't get the same quality of health. So the better the aminos, the more of them, you know, the essentials, then the better the health is going to be.
It takes it to another level, and that's a level that I'm going to be exploring this week while I'm here, the last few days. So.
And that was Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works. Now, all of us, go make your life worth Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works. See you later.
Bye.